guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this dress. So guys, this is very easy to make. So this video is not even going to take us time. So just fold your fabric into two. You see this one, this is the back panel folded into two. This is the front panel. I have two pieces of this one here, and if you look at it, you see that the front panel is extended by at least 2 inches. This is the fold of the center of my back panel. After that, there's 2 inches more for the front panel, and then the length I have here is about 58 inches. This is from my shoulder to my ankle, and then plus seam allowance. So the dress goes all the way down like this. So from my shoulder to down there, this is an Ankara fabric. I'm using almost, let's say almost 3.5 yards. So it's your length that is going to determine how many yards you will use. So now we're just going to go ahead and put in our basic bodies. First, go up to the shoulder, divide your shoulder by 2. So for me, that is going to be 8. Come down 1 inch of shoulder slope. Insert your armhole divided by 2, or just your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever you get, that is going to be the length. And then from here, take it up. So guys, after that, just go ahead and give it a curve here. And then after that, the next thing I'm going to mark is from your shoulder to your waist. For me, that's 17.5. My shoulder to my hip, that's 26.5. And then after that, I'm going to go to the bust and mark my bust divided by 4, which is going to be about so 10.5, 42. So that is going to be 10.5. Go ahead and add your seam allowance. So if you want, you can add ease to this. You can do like 0.2 or 0.5, just so that it's a little bit free on you. If you want, just stick to your measurements and make it like that. So I'm going to just go ahead and add my seam allowance here. I'm going to use 1.5 of seam allowance, and then go down to your hip. You see, I skipped my waist. Go down to your hip. Your hip divided by 4, which is originally the measurement I'm using here. So if you're wondering what the width of this fabric is for the back, you see all my measurements are starting at the center back here. The width here is just my hip divided by 4. My hip is 48, divided by 4 is 12, and then I added 1.5 for my seam allowance. That's why the width of this fabric on a fold is 13.5. But then the front is extended by 2 inches. If you look at it here, you see from the end of this front to the end of this, the end of the back to the end of the front, you see the 2 inches here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and mark it here. So my hip divided by 4 plus my seam allowance, which is just the whole width of this fabric here, you see. So this measurement is just going to go all the way down, so I'm not going to bother with it. It's going down all the way to the length of the dress. It's not pencil, so we're not going to curve it or do anything. We're leaving it straight here. The only thing we're going to mark now is just from our bust till the hip, like this, right? Just like this. If you feel like the width of your hip to your bust is too much, like let's say now that the difference is too much, that if you mark it, it's going to extend so much like this, right? You can come into your waist. After you've marked this, you can just go in on your waist by maybe just 1 inch like this, and then just curve it in this way, just like this, and then curve it out this way. This is going to help to better give it some shape. If you want, you can stick to straight line, but this will better give it shape, right? Just 1 inch like this is okay. There's no dart here, so I just took it in 1 inch. After I marked that straight line across here, I just went in 1 inch like this. That is okay. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and insert my neckline. So my neckline is just going to be 3 inches of width. Mark it. Connect the shoulder slope from that 1 inch here, and then I'm going to come down 1 inch for the neck depth, and then 3 inches for the front one, like this. So all I have to do is to connect it this way. I feel like this is more than 3. You said it. So it's somewhere here for the front neckline. Going to connect it all the way to this point of your shoulder slope, right, like this. So now all I have to do is to go ahead and cut. So I'm going to cut from here out in here. That is it. So on my cutting is going to stop here. So cut from this excess here up here to the bust, my armhole, shoulder slope, neckline, and out. So guys, now I'm going to separate the front from the back, and then on the front panel I'm going to go ahead and take away 1/2 inch from the armhole, as you can see me doing. So once you take that out, you're going to go ahead and also cut it off. So I've gone ahead and cut that off now. So once it's done, so guys, now after that, the next thing you're going to do is just to take it, open up the back, and then join it shoulder to shoulder, one side of the front, and then join the other side of the front. You're going to just join it at the shoulder point there. And then for the 2 inches that we left here, this is how what you're going to do with it. So on each side of this one, you're going to go ahead first, tuck in 1/2 inch, and then fold 1 inch. You understand? And then go ahead from this top part here, sew it all the way to the end. Let me say it again. So that extra 2 inches that we left here, you're first going to tuck in 1/2 inch like this, and then fold 1 inch on top of it this way. This is going to make your elastic, your placket for the button. You understand? So our button is going to lay on this placket. So you're going to sew it all the way down. Do the same thing on both sides. So once that is done, we're going to cut our sleeve. So guys, this is what I have right now. So this is my sleeve. So it depends on you the length you want yours to be. So what I have here is 18. That is plus my seam allowance and everything. So it depends on you. You can measure from your shoulder to your elbow where you want it to be. So the first measurement I have here is 4 inches, from the top to 4 inches, which is my cap height. After that, I'm going to insert where my elbow is supposed to be. And then after that, the next thing you're going to do is just from this point to this point here. So you can do the width here is your armhole divided by 2 plus 1.5. That is the width. And then halfway through this line, I'm going to give it a curve like this, a curve below, just like this, right? Sorry about that. So now after that, the next thing is going to be to measure what your round your elbow is divided by 2. So whatever it is, mark it, add 1 inch to it, or whatever you want to use as your seam allowance, 1.5. And then at the end here, you're also going to measure, say, wherever it is that the sleeve ends for you. So wherever, you're going to measure it. So let's say it's here. So whatever it is, measure it, divide it by 2. And then add the same seam allowance again. So from here now, I'm going to join it to this line here, just like this. So from here to here, and then from here to here. It's almost like you're cutting a long sleeve. So from here. So guys, all I have to do is to just go ahead and cut this out, cut from this part and out. So guys, this is what we have now. I've cut out the side and then the top. So all I have to do is just to join the shoulder, fold the center placket, add my sleeves on both sides, because there's 2 of them here, 1 for each side. So join the 2 sides of the sleeve and then close up the armhole. So guys, this is it here. The next step for me now, you see what I did here. So after folding the placket, like I said, you see I folded this one, I also folded this one, and then I went ahead, added my sleeve, sewed it all the way to you can stop at your knee length. That is from your shoulder to where your knee is, or you can stop 2 inches after your knee. So that will be from your shoulder to like 40 inches. That is where I stopped my seam. So if you look at it here, you see there's still room here, and then there's still I stopped on this other side. Even my button too, the last button I added was on that same spot. So now that is done, the next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and finish up your collar. So for my collar, like I said, this is how I like to do my, so the fabric, so the fabric I'm using for my collar, if I open it up, it's about 7 inches of width, right? So if I fold it now, I'm going to have about 3.5 here. I want my collar to be 3 inches when I'm done. So what I did was to go ahead and sew close one end of this. Now I'm going to go ahead and face it towards the other direction, and then turn it over, just like how I normally do my collar. I'll just go ahead, tuck in 1/2 inch here on both sides of it. That's the 1/2 inch. Instead of, it's supposed to be 3.5 of like on a fold like this is 3.5. So now that 0.5 is what I'm tucking in now. I'm going to start from one end of my collar, how you normally add a waistband. I'm going to put this inside of this here and then sew it until I get to the other side of the collar. And then that's basically it. All I have to do is just to add my buttonhole. And then if you're wondering how you're going to finish up this side, so how you're going to finish up the sides of your shirt is just to go ahead and You see our 1 inch that we used for seam allowance here. You see that 1 inch of seam allowance or 1.5 of seam allowance that you have here. What you have to do is just to go ahead and open it up like this. So you see, this is the seam allowance. So all I have to do is to open it up like this, and then I'm going to just face this one this direction, face this one this direction. If you want, you can add in the tape and iron it down. You know the glue tape, just put it in here and then iron this one down. Put the other one on this side, iron this one down, and then hem the ends of your clothes. As you can see, I've hemmed this one separately, hem this one separately, and then hem the edge of this one separately. Or another thing you can do, if you don't have the glue, you can go ahead and just fold it like this. You know how we normally fold the end of your clothes, like 1 inch of sewing like this on this side, and then you start from here, sew it all the way. Once you get to the point of this here, you cross over into this side and then continue the seam like this, 1/2 inch like this, turn it over, and just like that. You understand? So do that on both sides. So guys, this is it here. You see the collar, like I said, just sew it like you're adding a band to your skirt, right? Once it's done, you can fold it into two and it has formed the collar. So that's basically it here. So this is the body here. Like I said, I stopped at almost at my knee. You can stop before your knee, right? Both for the button and the side seam. So you see, this is how I folded it, using the side seam allowance of 1 inch or 1.5, and that is basically it here. So go ahead, hem the end, and that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.